Hello and welcome back to Chat and That podcast, Indiana Jones special, and actually the first episode of kind of the new series. This is the first episode of my third year. You're probably wondering why my voice is so crooked. Is because I was at Dick and Dom 2-3 nights ago, and I lost my voice shouting at Dick and Dom, trying to recognise my T-shirt that said bogies on it, and they recognised it. And this is the result. But anyway, welcome back to the Indiana Jones special. And I'm very glad to see a friend of mine who is lovely. And he is also an Indiana Jones fan like me. Hence, it's the Indiana Jones special. Please welcome Ronan.
Hello. How are we doing? Good to see you, my friend.
You too.
Hello. Thank you for having me on.
No, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think of the display?
I'm jealous. I'm very jealous.
Oh,
I'm very impressed as well.
Very impressed. What's your favourite bit here?
Probably the jungle set, the temple from the beginning of the Raiders Lost Ark.
Oh yes, that's
the Lost Temple.
Lost Temple. Very good.
Yeah.
You know your stuff. That cup over there is an Indiana Jones.
It looks very familiar for some reason. I wonder why.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah. I got you one of those.
Yes, you did. Thank you for that. I use it all the time.
Yeah. And I've had this Indiana Jones book for ages. I got this Indiana Jones figure for like 30 quid. It's £10 now. I have a lot more at home. But yeah, it's interesting collection.
So you've heard of Indiana Jones?
No, I have. I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Oh wow, this must be really awkward.
Yeah,
for you.
I know. Never.
Oh gosh.
Never seen it before. So,
right.
I know you're both Indiana Jones fans.
Yes.
And I thought it would be nice to
It's
kind of
brilliant idea.
Celebrate Indiana Jones by having stuff.
I'd say that's how we bonded. I think
that is now. That's.
Oh yes, of course.
Yes, that is the first question. How did we meet?
It was Bop. We were both.
Was it?
I think it was Bop. We were both a little bit inebriated, as you are when you go to Bop. And Spud introduced us. I'm pretty sure we had a mutual friend. I don't know if he's been mentioned on the podcast before.
I think he has. We want to shout out Spud that we love.
I love you, man. You're a good guy.
Just been to America this summer and spent 3 weeks with him.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah.
Poop in the water.
Yeah.
So we met through Spud at Bop.
Yes.
Was it on the sofa bits?
I think it was. Again, we were both a little bit.
I remember talking to you about Indiana Jones.
I don't know how it came up, but yeah, we might have been talking about like Dial of Destiny or something, like because it hadn't come out at that point, and I think we were both talking about like how excited we were for it or something like that.
Yeah,
but I can't remember. But either way, it was one of those historic moments, where a beautiful friendship is formed. Have you ever seen Casablanca?
No, I haven't.
You're a film student and you've not seen Casablanca.
I haven't seen.
Oh my god!
There's too many films, Ronan. Okay.
Okay. Well, the end is very iconic. The end is.
I think I do know, but I don't want to know.
All it's at the end. He walks away with the police chief in the film, and he says, "I think this is the beginning of a very beautiful friendship."
Oh right, yes, I know that.
And that's basically what happened.
Yes.
So, wonderful film.
Humphrey
Bogart is great.
Yeah. We'll get on to films later, but
of course.
Yeah, we do love Spud again. Sorry, we love him.
Of course we do.
So, with the Indiana Jones stuff, where did you discover Indiana Jones? Because you've had like a interesting history with it, haven't you?
Gosh, I think basically it was around 2008 or 2009. It was around the time Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of merchandise.
Yep.
Because that's how you get kids into stuff.
You
make toys, and that's how you get. So, and I think my friend had like some of the. I think he had a hat or a whip and like this like robotic ant.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was kind of weird, and then for whatever reason I just started like. That was it. I started playing the Lego game.
Yes.
At a friend's house.
Yes.
The first, the Indiana Jones and the Complete Adventures.
Complete Adventures.
And then I had a PSP at the time. Remember those?
Yeah, I had that.
And I said to Mum, right, I really, really want this on my PSP. So I got it on PSP. And then I hadn't actually seen the films. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to watch the films because it's weird playing a game for a film that you've not seen.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I got into it. And I was just like, I had Raiders on DVD and I watched it over and over. And I was like, well, I really want to see the other ones. So I then got all the other DVDs, and that's how I got into it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Is I got into Star Wars without knowing what it was because
Oh,
I
really?
saw my mum and dad's friend's son play it,
Yes.
and I thought, "What's this? What's this?" I don't know what lightsabers are, and I got the game later that Christmas,
Yeah.
and I didn't understand what it was, but so the big question about Indiana Jones, and I want to get on to it. It's like the elephant in the room.
Okay.
I remember Kingdom of the Crystal Skull coming out, the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it in the cinema because I was too young. I got it on DVD that Christmas. Again, that's how I fell in love with Indiana Jones. Watched that one. I loved it.
Yes.
People seem to hate Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and I don't know why. Now, I know this is spoiler alert. I know there's aliens in it, and there's weird CGI and Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf is weird on his own.
I think he's quite good in it, actually.
He is good in it.
Yeah.
He is.
I quite like him in that.
I like him in it,
Yeah.
but again, people seem to have a hate for it, and I don't understand why.
Yeah. I think if we're, this was before Dial of Destiny came out, and it was kind of weird that, like, you had the original 3 Indiana Jones films that all came out in the 1980s. Like, Raiders was 81, Temple of Doom was 84,
Yes.
and then Crusade was 89.
Well done.
Thank you.
That was right.
Thank you.
That was
I don't want you to
accurate.
call me a fake fan on your podcast.
No, that was very accurate.
And it's kind of weird, like 20 years later, they came out with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But for me, I think what I find disappointing about it is not the aliens. I can actually live with the aliens. I quite like that it's set in the 50s, and the aliens at the end like reflect like the like cultural
Cold War.
Yeah, I love that. The setting of it is great.
Yeah.
Actually, that movie, I love 50s music, and that movie got me into like Elvis. So
Yeah,
there's a hound dog at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning, yeah.
But for me,
Same.
what lets the film down, I think, is the CGI, because visually it looks really out of place. I think with the first 3 films,
Yeah.
like it looks a bit inconsistent. But then the scenes are like live action, like the motorcycle chase through the university campus.
Yeah, that's a great.
That is amazing. That's probably the
Yeah.
best sequence in the film. Like the fight in the greaser bar, and that
Yeah, exactly.
that's awesome. I love that. That is classic Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is classic like Spielberg.
Yeah, well, why
it's
do people
awesome.
hate it?
Hmm?
Why do people hate that? Why do people hate it?
I don't know. I really don't know, because I rewatched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull maybe I think last year, and whilst it's still not like my favorite, I don't hate it because I think it is quite nostalgic as well. But there's some charm to it. It's still got that like Spielberg kind of charm to it, even if it is a bit like zany with all the aliens and the CGI.
I understand people's upset about the aliens. The only concern is that Indiana Jones is all about the supernatural.
Yeah. So why would you have an issue with?
So why would you
aliens
have
in
an
it?
issue with aliens? And they wanted to experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the CGI bit that you end is a bit weird. But again, it has a good rhythm to it.
Yeah.
It's not. It's searching for something.
Yes.
And they designed the cinematography with the original cinematographer's look for the first 3. So they had that. I think the acting's good. I think Shia LaBeouf's good in it.
I really like him in it.
And
Weirdly.
the dynamic between.
If I didn't know who Shia LaBeouf was, I just saw him in like that and Transformers. I'd be like, oh,
Okay.
I like him.
Have you seen Transformers? I haven't.
Really? You haven't seen the first
I don't
Michael
want
Bay
to.
one? I grew up on it, man.
Really?
Yeah,
They look bad.
they are, but but they're like guilty pleasure films,
What's your out of the 5? Which is your favourite?
Okay, so I was having this debate in preparation for this podcast. I rewatched a couple of the films. I didn't have time to watch all of them, but I rewatched my 2 favorites, which is Last Crusade and Raiders. And I still can't decide which one I like more. I'm lean towards Last Crusade because of the chemistry between Sean Connery and Harrison Ford.
Absolutely.
And I love Raiders to bits. I could probably quote like most of Raiders like unprompted without a script, but in a way, Indiana Jones is a bit of a blank slate in that film, and then and then you watch Last Crusade, and it gives him so much more depth, because you see his relationship with his father, and you get an idea of like who he actually is, and the opening sequence on the train.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Like John Williams, by the way. Shout out to John Williams, phenomenal composer.
Yeah.
But
John Williams, come on the show.
Please, please come on the show. I know you have other things to do, but I think he's retired now, so he's got no excuse.
Really?
Yeah, I think he said Dial of Destiny was going to be his last film.
Oh, wow, there we go. That's
So there we go. He's got plenty of time to come on this podcast.
River Phoenix is fantastic.
Yeah, it was very sad that he died like not that long after after that. Did you ever watch the Chronicles of Young Indiana Jones?
I can't find them anywhere. They're not on Disney Plus.
They're not, no, and I don't know if they're like 100% canon now that like Disney kind of own Lucasfilm, but like it was a shame because obviously River Phoenix passed away, so he couldn't reprise his role.
That would have been good.
Yeah,
that would have been good if he was alive. He
yes,
could have done the.
But they got a guy called Sean Patrick Flannery, and he's really good as well. He looks quite similar, I think, and the show is really weird. Are you familiar with it at all?
Yeah, I am.
So the show was intended to be like historical, like educational show. So it's like Indy's early life, like throughout the early 20th century, and he just happens to meet like every major historical figure. So like one episode he'll meet Lawrence of Arabia, and then like in another episode he'll meet Sigmund Freud, and it's just like that's his life. He just goes week to week, just meets like happens to be in the right place at the right time and meets or like some historical figure or watches some historical event. It's very strange, but it's got a charm to it. It's got a little charm to it. I quite like it. I'm very fond of it.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's not. I can't find it anywhere on Disney Plus.
No. I had the box set, but only the first season. Yeah, only the first season. Though.
How many seasons are there?
I think there were 3.
And Harrison Ford is in one of them.
He's in one of them. And only one of them.
He did that. He did that as a favor to George Lucas for free.
Did he?
And they shot it in his home.
That makes sense.
In Wyoming.
I know he has a beard in it because he was growing it for some other project he was doing at the time, and then like refused to shave it.
Yeah. But so people say, "Oh, Harrison Ford, you've played Indiana Jones 5 times."
Yes.
No, he's played him 6.
Technically 6.
Yeah, but I need to watch that. I
think some episodes are on YouTube.
Really?
I think.
I'll have a look at that.
But so it was really weird. They were originally like broadcast on TV, and then I think there was like bookend segments of it. That's why Harrison Ford's in one of the episodes, because it's like it would be like his early life, and then at the end of the episode it would be old Indiana Jones.
Yeah, because there's an eye patch, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah. They got an actor that
and he has a daughter.
Yes, so that's why it's like not 100% canon or like questionably.
Would you consider it canon though?
I'd like to. I don't think there's anything in it that like directly contradicts. I mean, they reference in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. They reference when he meets Pancho Villa. Oh
yeah,
and that's actually one of the episodes of Young
Is
Indy.
it?
Yes, yeah. So I think within the realm of the movies, it's technically canon, but I don't know.
I like to think a lot of it is canon. I like to. It would be a waste of time if it wasn't.
I know. But basically, what happened when they re-released these episodes? Well, they were broadcast, as I say, with these bookend segments with old Indy, and when they re-released them, they cut those out. So and the only one they kept was the one with Harrison Ford because it had Harrison Ford in it. So that's questionable whether or not like the edited versions without the old Indy with an eye patch. That's like whether that's canon or if it's like the re-edited versions that we don't know. We don't know.
No. What did you think of in my first year at uni? I went batshit crazy, and I went obsessed with the Dial of Destiny coming out.
Okay.
And everyone who knows me very well,
no one would blame you.
I went crazy on Instagram and I said when the trailer came out, the teaser trailer, I was like, why aren't people in the streets going crazy?
I know. I was like that as well.
I was like,
why? It
Why
was an exciting time to be an Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Because you can get so many Star Wars films, but there's only 5 Indiana Jones films.
Very true.
What was your opinion on Dial of Destiny?
I really like it.
I liked it.
Yeah. I rewatched it this summer, and like as I say, I think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is the weakest one. I still like it, but it does like I just thought to myself, as long as it's better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, so the series like ends on a higher note than that. That's all all it has to be, and I'm happy with that. And I was grinning like a child when I saw it, like, especially the opening sequence when he's on
that was good
with Toby Jones on the train, and that was just like literally like I was in the cinema, just like
that was good.
But no, great movie. Happy with it. Happy. It's got some problems, but I think overall, like
it is a little bit too long.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I actually wished it was longer.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't want the Indiana Jones film to end. I just wanted to live in that universe forever. But
I liked I didn't really know Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I didn't really know her. But
You remind me of her for some reason.
really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Is that a compliment or?
You look a bit like her, I guess.
Oh,
in a complimentary way.
all right.
Yeah, I don't know why. You just do.
I prefer you say Harrison Ford.
Okay,
Thank
well,
you.
cut that.
Yeah, cut that. Yeah, change
cut
it.
that. You remind me a lot of Harrison Ford.
Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you. I
look
appreciate
just like
that.
him. When I came in today, I thought I was doing a podcast
Yeah.
with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I would like to get him on the show.
Please come on the show,
I'm
Harrison Ford.
waiting that to the end. That's my catchphrase.
That would be amazing.
I liked it.
Mm.
I loved the beginning. I loved how sadly Shia LaBeouf's character got killed. I liked how that was his depression that his son got killed in Vietnam.
Mm.
I liked that bit. I liked Marion's bit. I thought that was clever. I liked Sala was in it. That was nice.
Yes. John Rhys Davies.
I loved it how there wasn't any constant references and cameos shoved in your face.
Yes.
Like the only Sean Connery is only mentioned like once. It was like, oh, that's my father's watch.
Oh yes, yeah.
Marcus isn't mentioned in it at all.
No,
It's quite sad, isn't it?
a little bit.
Yeah, could have mentioned him.
Obviously, he gets a little cameo in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull when they're in the chase on the uni campus, and then the statue like falls onto the car.
Right. Again, I'm Indiana Jones nerd. The thing that annoys me is that in the first and third one, where we see the college, it's called something else.
Yes, Barnet
but in the
College
fourth
and then
one,
Marshall College.
They call it Marshall.
I think they're different places.
Are they? Really?
Yeah, I think.
Well, Marcus does a statue
because he's in a different university in the last movie.
That's different.
So I get the impression he's not like in what he goes. He's a university lecturer and he goes to like different universities.
But Marcus was dean of the school in the first one, third one, and in Marshall College there's a statue outside. Don't worry.
Maybe he was dean of multiple universities.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I was watching Raiders last night, and there was something in it. I forget what. No, it was Last Crusade, and it's the sequence when they're on the train and they're fighting. I forget the guy's name, but he's got a knife, and young Indy's like grappling with him, and the background in the scenery changes like 5 times. If you go back and watch it, basically they're in the desert. And then they're suddenly in the woods, and then they're suddenly on like grassy plains, and then they're suddenly somewhere else. And it's like it changes way too quickly for it to be like consistent.
What?
Yeah, if you go back and watch it, seriously, I
right.
guarantee you, go back and watch the opening of Last Crusade. But then I was sat there and I just thought, I'm not going to poke holes in this because this is one of my favorite films, and it's an Indiana Jones film. If we start poking holes in it, it's all just going to fall apart. True. We just move on.
That's true.
Move on.
I found it annoying that going back to school, I found it annoying that they didn't have the school in the 5th one because they filmed in England the exterior and interior in England. No, I think the interior in England. So they could have just gone back and
Do you know where they filmed those scenes in the 5th one?
Yes, basically all in England. In Scotland.
Yes, in it. Was it Glasgow? They filmed the New York scenes there.
My brother and I, when Indiana Jones was filming, we purposely signed up for a extra agency purely if we could get in an Indiana Jones film as an extra.
Could you imagine?
And we couldn't because all the films were code words. So
I see.
We signed up as many, but they didn't look like Indiana Jones-esque things. But my brother was on a set. He was on You. Have you seen the Netflix series You?
I can't say I have.
But Alec, my brother's in You, and he was speaking to a guy he met, and he said, "Oh yeah, I was in Indiana Jones, and I was one of the school children in the 5th movie." And there's a shot of him, like with it. Has a TV, and he moves a TV next to Indiana Jones.
Oh,
and he's in
when they're watching the moon landing.
Yeah,
yeah,
and he's in the glasses, and
he's
at Alex met him.
That's really cool.
And he said Harrison Ford vapes.
You know what? I'm not surprised. He rides motorbikes and he crashes planes. I'm sure he vapes.
He's a little bit grumpy.
Yeah, we know that.
James
Sorry, Harrison. Please come on the show.
Yeah, actually,
I won't badmouth you. We love you. We grew up watching you. You know.
That's all the facts I know.
Okay.
So anything else about Indiana Jones? Anything else about Dial of Destiny? It did bomb at the box office, but I don't care.
It did, didn't it? I think that's why you got such like a limited release of like Lego and things that came out. because they were expecting it to do better.
I'm so glad you mentioned Lego
Okay.
because sorry, this is more. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. I love Lego.
So there's 3 Lego sets here. There's
Mhm.
the Plane Chase set, the Well of Souls, and the Lost Temple. Now, there was going to be another one,
Oh, I know about this. Yeah.
which was the Temple of Doom,
And they cancelled
and they cancelled it.
it.
And I was so upset because apparently it was like this Indian, because it was set in India. The film
Yes.
and it was like this Hindu
I mean,
devil.
the problem with Temple of Doom is sort of.
Yeah, it's a little bit outdated.
It's a great film, but it's like upon like with a modern when you watch it with modern like glasses, it's very problematic.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit kind of jingoistic. It's literally features child slaves.
Yeah.
which
Yes.
they
Very
somehow got away with.
dark.
I mean, they all. I mean, you know, the other films feature Nazis and Hitler's in one of them, but they're still great movies.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Indiana Jones is not endorsing child slavery. He literally frees the slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, I don't think
and it's a very cool sequence.
It is.
But I was so upset that this Lego set got cancelled that I sent Lego an email saying, please don't cancel this. Why are you cancelling it? And they said, thank you very much for your positive feedback, Matt. For more information, follow our Instagram.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. I've heard their customer service is normally quite good as well.
I should ring them. I should ring them.
Yeah.
But apparently there's some out there because, not out there, I think Lego's got them stored away because apparently there was one set that was
I've
released.
seen photos of it.
Yeah, there was a set released at a Comic-Con,
Oh, really?
Lego Comic-Con in a box.
Yeah.
So, you know, but anything else on Dial and Destiny because the music's amazing.
Yes.
My top Spotify Unwrapped was the Helena's theme from Indiana Jones. Google it. It's a brilliant, beautiful theme by John Williams.
Okay.
But yeah, do you like the villain?
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like him.
Yeah, I like he's a villain in
great.
everything. Every single franchise is a villain in it.
He's not the villain in Rogue One.
He works for villains.
Yes, I suppose he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, he's really good as. So the film, his character is loosely based on Werner von Braun, who was he was a German. This is real history here. Basically, what happened after World War II, there was lots of like Nazi scientists that were recruited by the Allies to build rockets. Like they had the V2 rockets that the Nazis made, and the Allies wanted that technology, so they basically tried to get the scientists, and they gave them diplomatic immunity in exchange for working for the government. It's true story. You can look it up. Yeah, NASA basically the moon landings like. They were basically, you know, the fact the moon landings were able to happen is partially because of Nazi scientists. Yeah,
Wow.
no, that's true.
I think I've heard something about that. I just wouldn't believe it.
So Werner von Braun was the head of that project, I believe, and I think, like, for the impression I get, Mads Mikkelsen's character in Dial of Destiny is based on him, because obviously he's a Nazi scientist that builds rockets.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's cool. So we're going to do one more Indiana Jones thing, and then we're going to move on to different questions about Indiana Jones.
Okay.
No, different questions about something else, not Indiana Jones. It's just an excuse. To be honest, it's just an excuse because we talk about Indiana Jones and just share my stuff.
Yeah, honestly, this doesn't feel like a podcast. It feels like we just met up and start like gushing about Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's what
it feels like.
You did something cool, which was awesome that I saw. You sent me a link to a thing that you made, Indiana Jones.
Oh God!
Thing. Do you want to explain how that happened?
So, was that the fan film that I
Yes.
made? Right. So, when I was 14 years old, I've always been like a big Indiana Jones fan. But when I was 14, it like culminated. I suddenly, you know, I was like old enough and I had the right technology to make an Indiana Jones fan film. So I did. I lived out in the middle of nowhere, you know, like in the middle of the like, you know, countryside. So, you know, you got loads of scenery you can use to shoot out there. And I had like the leather jacket, I had the shirt, I had like brown trousers, and I had a little fedora. And I made my friend come with me with like this little camcorder we had back then to shoot this fan film. And funnily enough, you know what it was called? Indiana Jones and the Marble of Destiny. 2014. So this is before. Yeah, no, I know. It's really weird. I didn't pick up on that until I rewatched it the other day. Yeah.
Shit. Oh my God.
I'm not saying I predicted it, but you know. I'm expecting that payment, like that check in the mail, please, Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Why don't you
exactly.
Yeah.
That'd be really good.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But You know, I mean, you're a film student. You know full well that, like, you know, when you do like a day's worth of shooting, you only end up with like a few minutes worth of footage sometimes.
Yes, that's the whole.
And that's that fan film. We spent all day just like in the hot sun filming, and then the film just comes like down to about a minute worth of footage. Yeah, it's just how it is. But well, yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I really enjoyed making that. Wish I made more, to be honest.
Well, it's not too late.
No, it's true.
It's not too late.
That's true.
I mean, I want to make my.
I think you should play him because you look more like Harrison
Well,
Ford.
I want. Well,
you look exactly like him.
When
actually.
I was 9 years old, I called myself Matt Jones, and I had my dad's kind of like esque Indiana Jones shaped hat.
That's cool.
I call myself Matt Jones, so I want to make Matt Jones. That'd be pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But something that's painful to me about Indiana Jones is that I tried to get into the premiere of Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny.
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
Now, I think I've explained this before on the show, but my brother and I didn't realise till we got there that you can't just turn up and be in the crowd.
No.
Weirdly, they gave out wristbands to strangers, and it was like, what's going on? Anyway, so to cut a long story short, my brother and I spoke to every single security guard, and they said, we're out of wristbands. And we noticed this woman kind of following us, and she didn't look like she came purely for Indiana Jones. She kind of like followed Alec and I. And I could tell that she wasn't there. Again, she wasn't there all the way from wherever she was to come to the premiere. And they wouldn't let anyone in. They would let the peasants, you know, and they blocked. You couldn't see anything from the outside, which is really horrible. And there was a guy dressed as Harrison Ford. They didn't let him in. And it's like, what the fuck? You know, Indiana Jones, what the fuck? So we asked around, and this woman basically kind of cut in the queue, basically. Got a wristband, got in, got to meet Harrison Ford, a picture and an autograph.
Wow.
And she had like a duck hat on. Like a duck hat. And I went, who? And Harrison Ford signed a duck hat. I went, what the hell? And Alec and I went to a bar which was overlooking the whole premiere, so we could see the whole premiere. We were shouting at Harrison. I heard an interview where Harrison seems to ignore people that shout at him later, I found out.
Yeah.
So I probably just ignored people shouting at him, but, you know.
Yeah.
I saw him.
Yeah.
I did a selfie with him at a distance, so I'm in a picture with Harrison Ford, I bet.
Yeah.
But I did, not gonna lie, I did cry for 2 days in a row
because
it was
I'm gutted for you.
someone really kind of pulling the carpet under your rug. So it's not too late. I mean, Captain America's coming out, so
that's true.
I'll get him in the next one. So let's move on. So let's talk about you.
Oh God.
So, what are you doing at Winchester, and why did you choose to do your course? Because I ask everyone, what do you do? 90% of them who are here, they all do film.
Yeah.
But you do something that's very interesting.
That's one way to put it.
So what do you do?
So I do history and politics. I chose it because I've always loved history. That's part of the reason I got into Indiana Jones, because that kind of setting, and it's all about like archaeology, recovering artifacts and stuff like that. And I also picked politics because I just saw what a mess we were in, and I just thought, well, someone's got to get in there and do something about it. And instead of just sitting around doing nothing, it may as well be me.
So there's two courses in one then?
Yes, yeah, and what they do is they kind of cherry pick modules from both, so you don't end up doing 2 courses worth of work. You just do, it's one course basically, but they amalgamate different modules from it.
So explain what you're doing at the moment now. What are you working on?
So at the moment I've got my dissertation, and I've got some other modules coming up next week actually. My dissertation is about I don't know how political we want to get on this podcast, but it's about politics. I'll say that much. It's got some politics in it.
What kind of politics? What is it? An era politics, or is it now?
What I wanted to do was like amalgamate both aspects of my course together. So I thought I'd do history, and so I'm looking at the history of a certain type of politics that you see today, like a certain way of doing politics that's very common, like people like Donald Trump use. So I'm looking at the history of like, where did that kind of come from, and like, let's, you know,
stupidity.
It's one way to put it, but I'll give a brief explanation. I'll try not to like go too in depth, but basically you see a lot of what's called populism in politics, and populism essentially is basically where you try and appeal to like kind of the broadest crowd of people by appealing to emotion rather than like actual strict facts. So it's very hard to explain, but when you see it, and you know it when you see it, basically. Donald Trump's sort of an example of like a populist politician. And so for me, what this dissertation is it's kind of looking into the history of that, because Donald Trump didn't come from nowhere, and it's like looking into the history of like where that came from and what can be done to kind of remedy that.
Yeah.
So that's what that's about. But hopefully that's a good enough explanation.
He's a very weird man, isn't he?
He is a very strange man, yes.
But your politics, we've spoken at Spoons, but your politics is not crazy. It's appropriate.
I think so, yeah. I'm not a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. But no, I don't want Trump to win.
No, neither do I.
No, I don't think a lot of people don't.
Neither do I. He'd make it. You know what? He would make a good Indiana Jones villain. That's for sure.
He would. There's a villain in Doctor Who that's based on him, I'm pretty sure.
Is there?
In one of the Jodie Whittaker ones.
Really?
I think so.
Oh,
He's played by a guy that I thought was Alec Baldwin, but wasn't Alec Baldwin. so, yeah.
Alec Baldwin does do a good Trump on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, God, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's a weird connection.
Yeah. So, I want you to talk a bit more about the history and the politics stuff. So, is there like two different bits then?
Yeah, you're in a way like you are really doing two different courses. There's a few other people that also do history and politics, but there's not many of them. And as a result, I'm kind of the academic rep on my course as well. I'm the part of the student liaison committee because no one else wanted to do it. It's not hard, but you just help lecturers and give feedback and things like that about how the course is going. But yeah, you it is weird because you'll be in one completely different end of the campus for one lecture. It would be like a history one, and then with different people, and then you'll go all the way to the other side of the campus and you'll be with different people again for politics. So, and then you also use different referencing formats for both, so that gets really confusing. So it can be a bit tricky when you take two humanities on, because it's not just history and politics. You can do like politics and international relations, or politics and philosophy and economics as well. So that's triple.
Oh yeah, my sister did international relations.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good course. I'd like to do a master's in it, hopefully down the road, but it's a long way off.
What made you decide to do? Because we had a very good talk at Spoons, and you.
Many good talks.
I don't want you to repeat everything you said because you're very smart, and very intellectual, very clever.
No.
And the stuff you were saying was very, very good.
Yes.
Thank
you.
Stuff that wasn't crazy.
Mm.
Because when I was meeting you, I was like, oh no, he's a politic person. Is he going to be crazy?
Like
but weird.
We're all a bit unhinged.
But there's people who believe in like flat earths and
oh god,
politics crap. And
have you seen around town? There's like in the high street, people have written
flat earth.
Yeah, conspiracy stuff on the pavement.
Well, to be honest, when I was worried when I met you, I thought you were gonna be one of those people, but you were the complete opposite.
Oh, I don't know. Thank you.
Yeah, and you said all clever stuff, and it was like, oh, brilliant. But you must see one of those people.
You do.
Is that what you were talking about earlier? The Trump populism?
Yes, yeah. Basically, a lot of people. I mean, I can't say it's like. There's a lot of distrust in like the status quo and a lot of distrust in government at the moment because of a lot of things that people don't have a lot of faith in the people that lead them anymore, and you can't really blame them to an extent.
Yeah. Anyone, if they're good or
yeah.
No,
and that's where like conspiracy theorists come in and try and manipulate people into believing stuff like like
crap,
QAnon and these sorts of conspiracies, and it's hard to kind of tell people they're wrong when the actual like status quo and what's actually going on is not doing enough to help these people, and aren't actually providing any answers for them. That's something part of the reason.
Do you look at stuff like that in your course as well?
Yes, yeah, very much so, and I've seen it firsthand as well on like political campaigns I've worked on. Where people just don't. People are desperate and they look for something in leaders, and that some people pretend to offer something, and people buy into it. And it's quite sad, really.
Yeah, I know.
It's like at the beginning,
and even hard is that they seem to be nice people.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
They believe in this.
I think when it comes to politics, like you should never ever blame the voters because it's not their fault. I don't think for the majority of the time, It's the people that try and appeal to them. You know, there's a lot of well-meaning politicians that just don't connect with like the average voter because they've never been in their shoes. They've never had to struggle to pay for groceries or keep a roof over their head.
They've been raised in Harvard.
And that's the problem.
Cambridge,
I think we need more like ordinary people in politics. Bit hypocritical. I feel like I'm not very ordinary as it goes, but you know what I mean. We need like more average people like in politics. Less people that were educated at like Oxford or Cambridge.
Yep.
And more people that
and diverse. Diversity.
Have had actual jobs and like know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. Really.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, we don't want to dip into politics.
No. I don't want to go too far off the deep end. But
let's talk about the history side.
Sure.
You're very. Where did you come? Because you said you discovered history quite recently or something, didn't you?
No. I've loved history since I was a child.
So yeah, but we had a very amazing conversation about JFK.
Oh,
that was quite incredible.
Yes, yeah. I'm quite fascinated by the Kennedy family because they're very. There's a lot of real world law there. But they're really, really interesting. And
now, you had an interesting opinion because I don't know. I thought they found the guy who shot JFK, but there's so many other possibilities.
I mean, I don't want to go too far off the deep end and start talking about JFK conspiracies, but there's a lot to unpack.
There's conspiracies that are stupid.
Yeah.
But there's conspiracies that are actually quite
reasonable.
Like, I know people who believe that Prince Harry is not King Charles' son.
I've heard that one. Yeah.
That the moon landing may be a film set.
Did you see that movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I want to watch that. I haven't seen it.
It's a good possibility.
Yeah.
It's a good possibility. It could be a film set. I don't know. You know. But going back to JFK, you said interesting things about it was the CIA, it was LBJ.
Yeah, I mean, long and to keep it brief, basically the government after the assassination, the government opened an inquiry called the Warren Commission, but it's been debunked. Like the official inquiry released by the government has been debunked in like the last 20 years or so. And if that's been debunked, then like how much can we really trust? That's all I'm going to say. But yeah.
Well, when did your fascination with the Kennedys start?
I don't know, really. I think there's one of my favorite politicians, one of the people that I find to be an inspiration in politics is Robert Kennedy, his younger brother. He was the Attorney General under JFK's administration, and he was also a senator for New York. And then he tried to run for president himself and was tragically also assassinated.
Yep.
And but I think he was a really, really good person, and he was like genuinely listened to people and genuinely cared and wanted to make the country better.
And maybe killed Marilyn Monroe.
Well, that's
another
one.
Another interesting pause for thought.
But basically, with the Kennedy family, they kind of represent a sort of era of American politics that died when they got assassinated. It's a bit like James Dean. You know James Dean, where he didn't have a particularly long movie career, but he represented something. And when he died, that died with him. And I'd say that applies, that sort of James Dean effect applies to the Kennedy family. You know, where they kind of represented this era of hope and prosperity, and their lives were really tragically cut short. So I think that's part of the appeal for me.
They've had an interesting deaths because two of them were assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me. JFK's son was killed in a plane crash.
That's right, yeah.
Ted Kennedy, who was the youngest one,
he
was in a car with someone who wasn't his wife.
Yes, Chappaquiddick.
Fell off a bridge
That's
in a car.
Yes.
Hit the water, but instead of the first thing you do is I got to save the other person's life. He buggered off.
He just didn't do anything for about 8 hours. And he finally decided to call the police, but by then, of course, she
died.
Tragically drowned.
Anyone else that I'm missing?
There's Robert Kennedy's son is currently was running for president until recently, and he's a bit unhinged. Like if you listen to some of the stuff he says, he's
a Republican.
He endorsed Trump, unfortunately. He dropped out. He basically dropped. He ran as an independent and then dropped out and endorsed Trump. So, yeah. So, but he said some really bizarre things. I encourage you look up. Basically, there was a story about a bear that was found dead in Central Park in New York.
Right.
And no one could figure out how it got there because obviously it's a park. How's a bear like in this like park in a major city? How the hell did it get there? And it turned out RFK Jr. like was involved. Yeah, it's a really weird story. Look it up. It's really really bizarre. So,
right.
Yeah, part of the Kennedy legacy, I guess.
So I want to talk more about not politics, but more about history. What history stuff have you enjoyed studying, and what you're studying at the moment, history-wise?
Gosh, that's a good question. We do mostly modern history. When you're on history and politics, it's like not sort of like ancient Rome or anything cool like that. It's sort of more modern.
Like Thatcher.
Yeah, we did a module called Britain in the 20th Century,
Yeah.
and that covered like decade by decade, and then of course we got to Thatcher and Tony Blair and
Bush.
Just before. Oh well, you could say George Bush Senior, but no, we didn't really. It was Britain mostly.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've been talking about like my early childhood, like.
Yeah, we haven't quite got to. Well, we did like a module on terrorism last year.
Really?
Yeah, very good lecturer, and we obviously covered like
9/11.
Yes, yeah, and other.
Wow,
like,
I didn't know there was that's really interesting. I didn't know there was a module for that. So you different famous terrorist attacks.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and obviously very sad.
Yeah.
But interesting because what he did was he had us like look up like the groups that were behind all these various terrorist attacks and try and figure out their motives and things like that. And you know, everyone will have a day where they realize that the world isn't as black and white as they thought it was, and it's a very shades of grey kind of place, you know, where everyone's got a motive for something. And
yes, unfortunately, people choose the horror. But how do you study that then? Do you have to look into
basically
terrorism?
Yeah.
What other do you study? Like, you like study wars? Obviously,
not so much. No,
really.
No, we don't tend to. We tend to if we were to study a war, we'd often like study, say, I don't know, the social consequences of the war, like after, you know, something like that. Really,
have you done Cold War?
Yeah, we did a bit of Cold War history. Although that was actually more in my politics like modules.
Really?
Yeah, we were looking at like different presidents from that Cold War sort of era.
Do you look at like communism and stuff like that?
We've covered it a little bit. Yeah, we cover like different. We did political philosophy in first year, and like we cover different political ideologies and things like that.
All right.
So that's.
But what's your favourite era
Cold
of
War.
history? Cold War, really?
Yeah. So I have this term I came up with, and I think some other historians use it as well. I call it the long 50s. So there's a period from, say, I think 1946 or 47 to about 1963, where culturally, like, the world, like, it just feels like one long decade. I say 63 because that was the year Kennedy was shot, and that was kind of the end of that, and then Vietnam happened, and then the counterculture movement and all that. So at this term, the long 50s, as I say, I'm not the only one that's come up with it, but that sort of period, really, I think, like, they often call it, like, the Hollywood Golden Age, like, that sort of era, like, post-war to early 60s. And I find that quite fascinating, really.
Yeah.
But, yeah, aesthetically, I find it really, really cool as well, like the cars and stuff from that decade.
Why is Kennedy so worshipped?
I think it's just because he got assassinated, really.
But he was only president for 2 years.
Yeah, like 2.5 years, and then he got assassinated.
Is it because he was young and fresh?
Yeah, he was quite glamorous at the time. He was seen like a movie star compared to like, he was the youngest president they'd had at that point. Well, no, not quite the youngest, but one of the youngest presidents they'd had.
Is he the youngest president of all time?
No, that is, I believe, Teddy Roosevelt. I might be wrong, but I believe it's Teddy Roosevelt. He was like the second or third youngest, though, so not far off. And he was also the first president to be born in the 20th century. Oh. So, like that, you know, compared to everyone else, he was the first president to be born in the 20th century, and he was elected in 1960. So you think like every other president must have been like 60 or older or 50 or
Yeah,
older, you know.
yeah,
So of course he was quite young.
yeah.
But it's
How he was elected was quite interesting, wasn't it? Because
yes, he ran
his-
against Richard Nixon.
but his dad did. His dad was a complete dick, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And-
Joseph Kennedy Sr. is a piece of work. He's not a particularly good person.
Well, JFK. I mean, JFK.
Yeah, JFK is a
is a bit-
morally grey character as
yeah.
well, I think. But
But his dad did some. Was it the mafia got involved? That's how he was elected.
yeah, there's lots of like the Kennedy family had ties to the mafia, and Joseph Kennedy himself was like kind of very corrupt and very kind of like manipulative and pulled a lot of strings to get
To get his
Kennedy
son.
elected. Yeah, to get his son elected. But basically, fun fact: I said Joseph Kennedy Sr. He actually had another son called Joseph Kennedy Jr., and he was actually supposed to be president before. Yeah, but he died during World War II. He was a pilot.
Really?
Yeah, U.S. pilot, and he was killed in an aircraft accident during the Second World War.
Wow.
Yeah. So and then basically, because his whole life, Kennedy Sr. basically groomed his oldest son to be president, and then he obviously died, and then he had to focus all his attention onto his second oldest son, JFK, Jack.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting.
Wow. Like raised them to be the president.
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
They're quite a sad sort of legacy, really.
Yeah, it's it's all really interesting. The Kennedys.
Mm.
My Kennedy stuff is O.J. Simpson.
Okay, go on.
Because I watched in 2018. I watched the O.J. Simpson drama series,
Mm.
and I became obsessed with it. Then I watched the documentary, and I became obsessed with that. And then then kind of COVID happened, 2 years later. But I became so obsessed with it
Mm.
that I know a lot about. O.J. Simpson is an arsehole, and he
Oh,
is a
yeah.
murderer. I don't care what anyone else says. He did it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
no, he absolutely did that.
Yeah. But it's interesting how money and he got away with it, and how he was a celebrity, and it's all interesting. That's history. That's I know. Not we. Come on, but talk a bit more about history. What you're studying at the moment? What's the period of history you're studying at the moment?
I'm not actually sure what we're doing this semester. I should know. We're doing it next week. And
What was the last thing you worked on?
Oh my god, I can't remember. It's the darndest thing. I can't
Talk more
remember.
about history.
Oh, I know. It was we're doing more. So we're not necessarily looking at historical events as such or eras as such, but we're looking more at like what we call historiography. And what that is basically the study of history itself, like the study of the way we record history.
Record like in. Oh, I think you mentioned this.
Yeah,
like in books.
Yes, yeah, and the way that like different cultures like record their history as well. It's very, very dry.
Yeah.
It does suck a bit of the fun out of like history a bit. So,
The thing
but
that,
it is unfortunately a very necessary part of that field if you want to like study historical events.
the thing that my mum told me was really interesting is that Native Americans, they didn't have much. They didn't have anything. They didn't have books or stuff, but they told the information through generations.
That's right. Yeah, they didn't write
They
anything
didn't
down.
write
They
it down.
passed
So
it
like
down.
the stories
That's
that have been
right.
passed down.
Yeah.
Do you study that? Is that something you?
That would count. Yeah, that would come under
Wow.
historiography as such, like the way it's recorded and whatnot, and looking at different sources. So, for instance, like, say I wanted you to research for me what happened on D-Day, how would you go about it?
Google it.
Okay, but like, what sort of sources would you look at?
Not Wikipedia.
Okay, that's a good start.
I'd get books,
Okay, written by.
people that were there,
Okay, that's what we call primary source.
right?
And they're not. They're funnily enough, you might think, oh, that's the most accurate source you
Yeah.
can get, but no.
What?
No, because people misremember things. And when you write your own biography or what have you, you want to paint yourself in the best light. Even if you're trying to be as honest as possible, a lot of people often cut out little details and things like that because they it reflects on them like in a negative way or something like that. So actually, primary sources aren't always the most accurate.
Right.
So what you have is secondary sources, which is like a compilation of like primary sources that have been like fact checked and compared to one another and things like that.
Right. What happens if they wrote them the day after D-Day?
It doesn't matter how recent it is. It's
Really?
Still, yeah. Because the thing is with for instance, like I don't know, let's use D-Day as an example. Like say you're storming the beaches. There's so much happening in that one.
That's true.
You've seen Saving Private Ryan, I assume. Another Spielberg classic, by the way. You
I
haven't? Oh my god.
That's on my list.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna blame my mum right now. She says, Matt, don't watch this film without me. Don't watch this film without me.
Okay.
So I can't really watch them.
Okay.
But she's gonna disagree with me on that. But my friend is a huge Saving Private Ryan fan, and we're gonna watch it together. And also my other friend who lives in America, he loves The Shining, and we're gonna watch The Shining together. So there's a lot of films I need to watch them with people who love it.
Yes.
But yeah, D-Day, you know.
Yeah. For instance, if you were like researching, like, I don't know, Omaha Beach on D-Day, you know, if you were just one person like storming the beach, there's so much going on. There's so many details you can't possibly be expected to remember, because you are, you know, at the end of the day, you're not there to record what's happening. They did send journalists out there as well, like, to record, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to get up that beach and not get shot. Like, that's, you know, that's your prerogative basically. So you know, that's why primary sources aren't always the most like accurate, and people, as I say, people misremember, and in the chaos of war, you know, certain things don't, you know, always make sense. So what you do is you would gather a bunch of primary sources, and then you would kind of compare them to one another and say, well, this consistently happened in each one of these sources, so that must have been what actually happened.
Yeah.
But so that's
Because
basically.
you're so interesting.
Is it interesting?
Yeah,
It's
I could
not
listen
to
to
me.
you forever.
God Almighty.
Let's talk about history, and I'm
it's
so
a
fascinated.
slog, I find. But,
No, it's interesting. I'm fascinated. I want to know more about. But okay, let's move on.
Yes.
But what's your kind of like summing these lots of questions up in one? What's your fascination with it, and why, you know, when you were younger, why were you interested in history and politics, and what is your what is your fascination? Why did you? I want to understand why.
I can attribute all of my interest in history to one book that I read in primary school, like one of those like eyewitness, like little junior history books about the Titanic.
Right.
And that was my gateway into history as a child, was the Titanic. And I read this book like cover to cover, and I read whatever I could on the Titanic that we had in our school, which wasn't a lot. And I was just so fascinated about this event. I don't know why. I mean, a lot of people find the Titanic really interesting, but it was something so captivating about it for me that I just was like, I just have to know about that. And I didn't really understand much else, like, about the historical context of the Titanic or anything like that. But basically, you know, it was like a gateway for me into like learning about history. And then also I grew up with, and I'm sure you did as well,
Horrible Histories.
Horrible Histories.
Yes.
Classic. Absolutely classic show. I want to thank the creators of that show and the writer of the books for getting a whole generation of British school kids. Terry Dreary?
Yeah, I think so. Terry something, yeah.
Yeah. For getting a whole generation of kids into history, because those books are perfect for like children.
Yeah, my brother was obsessed with Horrible Histories.
Oh,
yeah.
They were great. I loved the sketch show like nature of it. It was very
cool.
You could tell they were just like fans of history that just liked making
it fun. It funny.
Yeah. You could tell they just really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So it was brilliant. So that was the other thing that got me into it.
Yeah. Cool.
And also Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
To an extent as well.
Interesting. I was thinking about this. I do film and you do history. Now, does it annoy you when people like me make a film, let's say about Titanic, and you think, wait a minute, that didn't happen?
Okay.
There's so many films that you go, oh my God, that never happened. Because Titanic, a lot of it didn't
the 97 James Cameron one?
Yeah. I mean, Titanic did sink and people sadly lost their lives, but there wasn't Jack and Rose. And also the annoying thing is, I think this is true, I don't know if it's true, but James Cameron named a lot of the real people on the ship and I think portrayed them in a light that was quite dull and stupid. I think the villain was named after a real guy that didn't do anything wrong. That didn't have a gun and started shooting things.
Astor, J. Astor, I think it was. Yeah,
and I think people sued James Cameron for. I think this is right. This is years ago.
I think you might be right. Defamation. Yeah, I think it was one of the officers on the Titanic who wasn't letting people into the boats and was depicted as being like cowardly about. I can't remember what it was.
And he killed himself.
Yeah, and he shot himself, which we don't know if that actually happened because there was a gunshot heard. But of course, this is another thing where primary sources. This is an example of why primary sources aren't always accurate because like we don't actually know. Obviously, we can't recover the body.
Yeah.
We don't know. And everyone was trying to get off the ship. Like no one was really paying attention to these details and things like that. So we don't know if the guy actually shot himself or not, but obviously he didn't make it off the boat. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But back to your question about does it annoy me with history? It depends on what your film is. If you make your project with the goal of you say, okay, right, I want to make the most historically accurate film depicting this event, and then you just write your own script and write all over the actual historical event, that's when it's a problem. In the case of something like the Titanic, the film's actually quite historically accurate in a lot of places. James Cameron is a massive Titanic nerd. He funded like underwater voyages to go see the wreck just because he's just interested in it.
Yeah, I bet a lot of the stuff was accurate.
Yeah. So he wanted to tell the most accurate story he could, but he also realized, and this is the kind of cynical side of Hollywood. The average person isn't going to go watch like the sinking of the Titanic. That's quite a niche thing. So you've got to get Leonardo DiCaprio in there, right? Because he'd just come hot off the heels of Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
Got to get him in there. And then you write a love story, and then you put it in there. And it doesn't matter if it's historically accurate or not. So, and that's how you market the film and you sell it and that's how it ended up being one of the highest grossing films of all time.
Yes.
I'll tell you a fun fact about his character. So his character is Jack Dawson, right? There wasn't a Jack Dawson on board the Titanic.
No.
There was a guy, one of the people down in the engine room called Jay Dawson. Okay? Like
What?
I can't forget what his first name was, but it was like Jay Dawson. And his grave is in Newfoundland in Canada. And because that's the nearest point to where the Titanic sank. And so a lot of the graves were put there in Canada. And a lot of people go there thinking that's actually Jack Dawson's grave.
Oh, God.
So there's this poor, I say poor, but in a way it's immortalized, this poor guy who drowned on the Titanic. So people will go there, like fans of the film will go there, put flowers thinking that's Jack Dawson's grave. And I tell you what, I think that's, in a way, that's kind of lovely. Because he could have just been a forgotten name on a plaque.
Yeah.
But instead, his legacy kind of weirdly goes on.
Yeah.
I find that quite interesting. There's a little fun fact for you about Titanic.
Oh, God, that's terrible. That's off. But I think of history, actually. I did watch a really good YouTube video about a historian, a very professional historian, looking at films. And there's a very good film that I saw years ago. It was very good, called Downfall.
Downfall is a phenomenal film.
With like Hitler's downfall in the bunkers.
Yeah.
And he said that's really accurate.
Yes.
But then
it's probably my favourite World War II film.
He went on to The Imitation Game. That's a good film. But he said
it's glamorized for the audience.
Hardly untrue. It's not accurate at all. So it's interesting how those two films.
Yeah.
Downfall's great though.
Well, it's
very dark, but very good.
As I said, it's my favorite World War II film because it's just like it's very bleak. You know,
and I think they interview the people who are actually there in the bunker at the time.
And it's tastefully done as well, because you don't want to write a World War II movie where Hitler's like a sympathetic character. You don't want to do that.
Exactly.
He's a terrible person, and I hope history will remember that. So you have to depict him in such a way, but it's really fascinating when you see him in that film, because you have all these images of him like doing big grandiose speeches, and you think, oh, that's the guy that conquered Europe. And then you see him in the bunker, and he's this frail old man with Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And like he's so deluded, he thinks that the Soviets have literally surrounded Berlin.
Yeah.
And he still thinks the war can be won. And I love that, because it's like, you've got all these people down in this bunker counting on this guy, and he doesn't even know what's happening anymore. He's like his world is just like falling apart.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so bleak. And I think it's such a well done film.
Yeah. And he said it was very accurate at the time.
Yeah. From the records we have, obviously, like, there's not a lot. We don't exactly know 100%. Like, we know Hitler killed himself, but we don't 100% know how he did it. I think most people speculate he took cyanide, then shot himself. But and then his general, I think in the film.
Do we know that?
That's how the film depicts it. That's how Downfall depicts it. And then his generals take his body and burn it in a bomb crater.
Bloody hell.
Because obviously, but the thing is, the Soviets would have like used his body as like a trophy or something, and that's why the generals just.
God, quite dark.
It's a dark
for
film.
The show.
It's a it's a very dark film, but it's very well done, and I think it's tastefully done, and that's important when you're trying to depict World War II as well.
Yeah.
you know, because it's a lot of people died, and you have to be respectful about how you.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is ironic because I love Inglorious Bastards and Quentin Tarantino, and obviously that film is very, very. It's just wanton carnage and violence.
What did you think of Dunkirk?
I haven't seen it.
Well,
I keep meaning to watch it.
That was quite glossy at the time. You know.
I have a couple of friends that were in it.
It has extras.
Yeah, so basically
What?
they shot part of it in Weymouth. I'm from West Dorset, and so I live quite close to. I went to college in Weymouth, so I know it quite well. And I had some friends. They were doing like a casting call around 2016, I think.
Wow.
They're like, we need people to play like British soldiers.
God.
So they were in it. Yeah.
Do they know what? Can you see them?
Only
know where they
like
are?
briefly. You'd have to pause it, blink and you miss it, sort of things. But I'd put that on my CV. I don't know.
Well, that is
Yeah.
Anything
cool.
else? Anything about? So you were working your dissertation, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you? Yeah. Did you say? Sorry, did you say what you're going to do on it?
Yes.
Oh, the Trump stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Any other projects you're working on at the moment? Like, let's say projects, like anything you'd like to
outside of academic sort of stuff.
Yeah, maybe. But like, is there anything you'd like to study that you haven't studied yet?
I did study a bit of German in first year, and I'd quite like to keep doing it, but it's just one of those things where I did Duolingo. Duolingo is very good, but it can be very demanding sometimes. And if you don't practice every day, it can be quite stressful.
Yeah.
But so I sort of cut it out from my life for a little bit, but it's one of those things I'm going to try and pick up again one day.
Is there any historical places you'd like to visit?
I've got a whole list.
What's number one on the list?
Dealey Plaza in Dallas, which is where JFK was shot.
Wow.
That would be one of them. Quite high on the list, I
Wow.
think. But,
Do you know much about the Pilgrims and Plymouth?
Rings a bell. Oh, the
Plymouth Rock.
Yes. Yeah.
I have very good friends who live in Plymouth, Boston.
Oh,
That's why I wear the Boston cap.
Oh, okay. I've got a friend that lives in Quincy, actually.
Where's Quincy?
It's just it's south of Boston.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Oh, I should take a holiday there.
I
But
think
I was there in Boston, and I went to see Spud this summer
Mm.
afterwards.
You went to Fenway Park.
I did.
Go Green.
Yeah.
Red Sox.
Red Sox. Green Monster is the wall.
That's it. Yes.
And that's very interesting. That has a good museum, actually.
It's in Fallout 4.
is it?
Yeah.
Are you a gamer as well?
A little bit.
Alright,
I dabble.
alright. But yeah, I could talk to you for hours.
Oh, man.
You're very
I don't think anyone will want to listen to me.
No. Well, this is a show. I mean, so let's talk about something you have started. You've started a politics society.
Yes, that's correct.
How did that come about, and how was that just a passion thing you wanted to do?
Yeah, basically, like it was one of those things where there was quite a lot of demand for it.
Was there?
Yeah, we had a Liberal Democrat Society last year, which I was the chair of, and it was okay. We had like members, but we found, because we were tied to a specific party, we found that our ability to kind of recruit people was quite limited, because a lot of people don't want to join when it's explicitly tied with a party. And I can understand that hesitation, because obviously it seems like a big commitment. So I felt, and I spoke with the other people on my committee, I said, I think we'd have more luck like recruiting people and getting to know people if we just kind of branded it as a sort of politics society, just broadly, anyone's welcome, but as long as you're civil and you don't spread hate speech, that's all.
Yeah.
And everyone agreed. So we set it up as like a separate society. The Liberal Democrat Society at Winchester Uni is still going. It's run by my friend James now, not me, but I recommend joining that if you're interested. But we've also got our politics society. And yeah, it's just sort of like anyone that's broadly interested in politics, doesn't have to be politics students, are very welcome to join. We'll organise debates. We're going to try and do trips to like the House of Parliament. And there's actually a JFK memorial in the UK you can go to. So we're going to try and do a trip to that as well.
I've been to Cape Cod. There's a Cape Cod one at JFK I've been to.
That sounds good. I don't think we've got the budget to go to Cape Cod.
But I see the Lib Dems as the middle. I see. And I don't know. The thing is, I don't know what party to trust anymore. I like segments of good things from other parties.
I know what you mean.
When I was very young, I was very charmed. When I was 10 years old, I was very charmed by Nick Clegg. But then he got into bed with David Cameron and screwed all the students up.
I'd just like to say that I'm not responsible for raising your tuition fees. That was nothing to do with me. But I'm very sorry on behalf of the Liberal Democrats. I'm very, very sorry about that.
That's fine. It wasn't your fault. It was Nick Clegg and the people at the time. But that's that side. It's like a weighing scale. And then you've got Ed Davey, who I do like, who represents special needs education.
He's got a son with special needs. He's a
carers. He wants to represent more pay for carers. NHS. So you've got that, but then sometimes it's quite unfortunate that there's some good people. Then sometimes they get bad. Like Tony Blair at the time was like this new, huge, cool,
he
breath
did
fresh
a
air,
lot
and then all
of
of a sudden
things, but then his reputation is tarnished.
Yeah, he did a lot of shitty things behind this. There's a good film called with Keira Knightley, Matt Smith, and Ray Fiennes. You should look up. Called Official Secrets. Oh. And Tony Blair and Bush did all these shitty things behind the scenes, and I was like, "What?" It was just like, but again, it's like I don't know who to trust anymore. To be honest,
and that's fine. And this is what I was saying about populism as a thing. There's a lot of distrust in in the establishment, and you kind of can't blame people like the way like the country's been run over the last 15 years or so, just so chaotic. And I might be a Liberal Democrat, but I'm not dyed-in-the-wool Liberal Democrat. I agree with most of what they have to say, but I think it's important when you're in a political party to have your own views and not get if you agree with 100% of what they say, then that's great. But as long as you came to that naturally, to your own, to that conclusion naturally, I think it's really important to question things, don't blindly take everything on faith. And
we could all have our opinion on how things are funded and how economy is run and stuff like that. But we should all have a basic agreement that gay rights is good.
Yes.
Trans rights are good.
Trans rights are human rights.
Exactly. Black lives do matter.
Yes.
And non-binary. We should all stay on level, and that is what we should all agree on.
Yes.
But we can all disagree on how schools are funded and how things but we gotta all be appropriate in how we look at we need to work together.
I agree, and that's why I started the society,
right?
Because I want to move past party politics. The election's over, general election's been and gone, and I want to move forward, and I want to reach across the aisle and say to people that this time 3 months ago I disagreed with, I just want to say, it's time for us to start working together.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got a choice. It's for the betterment of everyone. And I don't like how polarized and divisive politics has become.
It's exactly. It's become this kind of...
Yeah. Very intense.
Hatey.
And I think we need to do everything we can to move away from that.
Yeah. It just seems very angry. But,
well, the conclusion I came to is throughout life, you will be forced to work with people you don't like and people you don't agree with. And that's unfortunately a fact of life. And so you have to kind of teach yourself to learn to work with these people, and come to a compromise and understand their side. You might not agree with it. You don't have to bow down to everything they say, but at least listen to them and understand where their concerns come from.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important to kind of building a better politics for the future, because screaming matches won't solve anything.
Exactly.
Political violence is absolutely abhorrent, and I don't think that's the right way to go.
There was a great clip of Bryan Cranston on. We should get off this political stuff. We might.
I don't want this to be too.
You do politics. It's.
I know.
I was raised political. But there was an Bryan Cranston who was brilliant. He was on a show and he said, it's quite "Make America Great Again" cap. It's quite offensive to African American people, because he said in the past, when was it ever great in the past for an African American? Yeah. So if you're trying to make America great again from the past, it's not including people. It wasn't
great for everybody.
Yeah, it wasn't great for
minorities, women as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But so talk about what you're going to do at the Political Society. Are you going to do debates and stuff?
Yeah, we'd like to do that.
What do you talk about? What do you do? Where do you meet?
We don't really have a set place to meet yet. I'm sure you don't mind me like putting some social media stuff in. We've got an Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do the Instagram later.
Yeah, of course. We've got an Instagram page and a Twitter page as well. And we've also got a page on the Student Union website. I want to keep it kind of casual, so I was thinking we can kind of meet every month, maybe go to the pub, have a couple of beers, that sort of stuff. Keep it light, keep it kind of, as I say, I also want to do trips to like local kind of places of like political interest. As I say, House of Parliament are on my list. There's also a former Conservative Prime Minister who had a house in Salisbury, which is not very far from here. So Ted Heath. So I'd quite like to go there as well. Yeah, he was the Prime Minister before Jim Callaghan, who was the Prime Minister before Margaret Thatcher.
Do you know who Dennis Skinner is?
Yes,
Yeah,
Labour guy.
Yeah, I liked him.
I quite
longest
like him as
serving MP.
Yeah,
he was very good.
He's very based.
Yeah,
is the term I think kids use these days.
There's a great clip on YouTube where he like fights a UKIP person. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
But I think he's in his 90s now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think you're going to do? You're just going to talk about politics and stuff like that?
Yeah, basically, just keep it kind of casual, keep it light, help other people as well, because I've worked on political campaigns. I know quite a lot of people locally, and I know like a couple of MPs and even a Lord as well. And if people want to get into politics on a local level and they want connections and they want to like get involved with like local political parties, I want to be able to put a foot in the door for them to be able to have that opportunity, because it's not easy when you're trying to get into politics and you're not from like a wealthy family, or you don't have like it is tricky. So, and I'd like to help other people like get a leg up in that sort of environment if that's what they want to do.
Absolutely cool. Yeah, brilliant.
But
We should start our own party called the
Indiana Jones Party.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
No,
Party.
the Harrison Ford Party.
Harrison Ford Party, exactly. So let's talk about anything else. So, are you a Doctor Who person then?
I was a fan of the show as a kid, like most British kids.
Favorite Doctor?
Okay, so probably 11, Matt Smith.
Okay, that's fine.
What do you mean that's fine?
He's my second favorite.
Okay, who's your favorite?
David
Tennant.
Yes.
Yeah. I like David Tennant a lot, but to me, he's like, if David Tennant, if you're listening to this podcast,
yes,
forgive me for what I'm about to say.
What?
He's kind of like a tiny bit overrated. Like he's everyone's favorite Doctor. I like there's 15 of them now.
That's chatting that for you. Thank you very much.
Oh my god. But no, I like David Tennant. He seems like a really good person as well.
He is. Yeah.
But I prefer Matt Smith because he was my Doctor.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry.
We can all agree there's one Indiana Jones. Yeah, we can all agree with this one.
Yes, I don't think.
Just quickly going back to like the politics society. How do you kind of start that? Do you have to like get in contact with the SU and stuff?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
And do you have that funding?
Yeah, they will give you like a bursary that you can use to cover expenses. So we've had to do that in the past with the Liberal Democrat Society, and they're quite good at like helping you with that. If you want to start a society at Winchester Uni, the SU are very helpful. They're very good people, but it can be a bit tricky because there's quite a lot of paperwork you have to do.
Really?
Yeah, you have to do like budget plans and risk assessments and things like that, just because you've got to be covered, in case there's an accident or thing,
Oh, yeah.
So there is that side of it. But if there's a society at Winchester Uni that doesn't already exist, because there's quite a lot, and it's like a hobby that you're interested in, and that's what you want to like, and you want to form a society, I recommend you do it, because it's really worth it, and it's a really good way of engaging with other students as well.
Absolutely. I saw you at Freshers yesterday.
Yes, you did.
How did that go?
Quite well. I was quite happy with the response we got. We got a lot of interest, and we got a lot of new followers on our Instagram page as well. So quite happy with that. And we're going to start putting some dates out for events that we're going to host soon. So keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled. Yeah. This May episode may come out in a long time.
Okay. Well, in that case,
I've got 14 to edit.
When this society turns out to be a disaster, please use this clip please use this clip as evidence against me. No. Hopefully it won't.
So, I think we may have touched this, but I always ask this question before I move on to quickfire questions.
Oh, yes.
Is there a serious issue you think you're passionate about that needs to be acknowledged? So is there a serious issue that you think people need to know about at the moment?
You know what? I was looking at that the other day, and I was thinking about that because I knew that was going to come up.
Yeah.
And I've had a really hard think. And this is kind of specific for people that are in politics, but there's a lot of people out there that don't feel like they're being listened to, and like their issues are just kind of being like, ignored. And that's kind of where a lot of people, that's why a lot of people feel like they can't trust the establishment and can't trust their politicians. So what I say is just listen. If someone comes to you with something, just listen to them and try and do what you can for them, because it's so easy to just go, no, I'm not going to listen to that. It's not important.
And dodge the question.
Yes. And when you do that, it has a ripple effect, and it will lead to very negative consequences for like people, especially regarding, as I said, like people's faith in politics, because we have to rebuild like trust with the public and trust with like the average voter. And how can we do that when we don't listen to them?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, because what annoys me the most is that politicians seem to dodge questions. And there's a good compilation on YouTube. Compilation. That's the right. On YouTube, where just a lot of Tory politicians just dodge the questions. And not just lots of politicians on this, all sides. They all seem to dodge the answer.
Yeah,
it just annoys me.
Yeah, everyone's guilty of it.
Yeah, and it's very annoying. But yeah, that was a good answer to that question.
Thank you.
Very good. Yes,
you.
you're very educated.
Oh, I don't.
You're very educated.
You are flattering me.
You should be. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should be Prime Minister.
No.
Would you want to be?
No. I think, I tell you what, I will say this. Any leader that doesn't want to be a leader often turns out to be a good leader, I found, historically speaking.
I don't think there ever has been a really good leader before.
But then, I thing is, I find
that dark.
Yeah, I find the
sides.
people that want to be leaders often turn out to be bad leaders. And the people that are accidentally put in that position, like, can either sink or swim, and very often do really well. Yeah. But no, I don't know. I don't think I'd like to be Prime Minister. It's a lot of responsibility. So
you should probably aim for SU.
Yes,
president.
I think I'd aim my sights a little bit lower, perhaps. But thank you.
Anything else you'd like to mention before we move on to quickfire questions?
No, I think I'm happy.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm certainly ready.
I'm going to add these whilst we go on.
Mm-hmm.
So my first one is go back to Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 5 Indiana Jones, which one's the best and which one's the worst?
I'm going to say Last Crusade is the best.
Okay, that's number 1.
And then I might have to say, and you might hate me for this, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is the worst. I'm not saying it's a bad movie.
That's fine.
It's just
what would you say is in the middle? So first,
Temple of Doom.
Last Crusade, Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom or Dial of Destiny. Like
I think you have to. Yeah, 1's the best, 5's the worst.
Okay.
So you've got 1 and 5. What's 2, 3, 4?
2 is definitely Raiders.
Okay.
3, I could keep going back and forth because I do quite like Dial of Destiny and I do like Temple of Doom, but I can't decide which one I prefer over the 2. So I might actually put Dial above Temple of Doom, which is sacrilege to say.
God,
I know. Like I do really like Temple of Doom, but it is very dark and very intense, And I think Dial of Destiny has that good, like feel good feeling. No, because Temple of Doom has that too. When he frees the slaves and he goes back to the village with the rocks, that's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
The bridge scene. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Molaram.
Yeah. See you in hell.
Yes.
Such a great scene. Let's quickly pick out some Indiana. Why did you have Jones standout moments? Do you think?
Are we talking quotes or scenes?
Scenes.
Okay. I've always loved the motorcycle chase from Last Crusade.
Oh yeah.
When he's going through the checkpoint and he gets the flag pole, and like rams it into the spokes of the other motorbike, and then flips over, and I love that scene.
Yeah.
Obviously the classic sword fight scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant moment, and I love that just came from Harrison Ford not wanting to do a sword fight.
Yeah.
I love that. I really like all the Club Obi-Wan stuff from Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
With the gangsters and stuff. And that's my favourite part of the film.
Yeah.
And then I really love the Greaser bar fight in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, the first one. Oh.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
When Mutt and Indy are meeting up in that like diner, and then they like have like a fight with the like university jocks, and then the Greaser's
Yeah.
Love
Get that Greaser.
Yeah, and it's like you hear like Bill Haley. and like shake, rattle, and roll, and it's just got that like classic 50s, like so good.
You know that woman that hits Shia LaBeouf?
You don't know her, do you?
No, but that's Steven Spielberg's daughter.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she made a cameo.
Actually, Tom Hanks is in that movie. Tom Hanks' son is.
Son, is it? Yeah, he was in the library. Scene. I like that scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favourite scene for the first one is the first scene. The second one is the bridge. Third one would have to be the Grail stuff, you know, like the Grail, the night stuff.
Oh yeah, at the end of the movie.
Fourth one would have to be the beginning of the boxes and the groundhog, you know,
yeah.
And the fifth one would have to be the beginning, the first 20 minutes. So let's go on to quick fire questions. My piece of paper's a bit crooked. Favorite film of last year?
Oh gosh, I had to think about that. Can I say? Yeah.
Besides
I
Indiana
think I'm
Jones.
gonna say Dial of Destiny, because if I don't, I'm not gonna make it out of this recording studio.
Apart from Dial of Destiny, what's your favorite film last year? Would you have to say?
Yeah, this is a guilty pleasure of mine. I quite enjoyed Barbie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Barbie was great.
yeah. I love Ryan Gosling in everything I've seen him in. So, go watch Drive. Drive is
Need
phenomenal.
to see that.
Drive and La La Land.
Yep.
Yeah.
Favorite film of all time?
So it's either going to be like Star Wars or Indiana Jones.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, it might have to be. I might actually say Last Crusade. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I might say Last Crusade though.
As an Indiana Jones fan, quickly, the first Indiana Jones is called Raiders of the Lost Ark, not Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's nice to call it Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Yes.
but it's originally called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes. Yeah.
Put it out there. And Indiana Jones tells you
Just like how A New Hope was just called Star Wars.
exactly. Favorite filmmaker? Favorite song that you can listen to forever?
Mr. Blue Sky by the Electric Light Orchestra.
Nice.
Yeah, my favorite band.
Is that Mr. Blue Sky? Yep.
Yeah, that one.
If you could be a person for a day, who would it be?
Okay, so I had to think about that one, and this might be a bit of a controversial answer.
It could be from history or...
Oh, okay. Gosh, I thought it had
Living
to
or
be like
dead?
someone alive today.
Well, choose the one that you were going to say.
I was going to say Kim Jong-un.
Right.
Like, he's not a good dude. I want to make that very clear. I don't endorse him in any way. But you got to admit, it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Just for a day, like, see what his life's like, you know? See what he's getting up to in North Korea. Just like, you just click your fingers at your generals and you can just have ice cream on the spot or whatever. That must be a hell of a way to live. So, give that a go, I guess. Again, not endorsing him or supporting him or saying he's a good person. Terrible.
Childhood celebrity crush.
Natalie Portman.
Yes.
Attack of the Clones.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Secret talent or unknown fact people don't know about you.
Gosh. Oh, I don't think there's anything that interesting about me that people don't know. I can't straighten my right arm. Like, I can't straighten it.
Can't straighten it.
Yeah, I had a motorcycle accident when I was 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Just,
Wow.
yeah.
You can't straighten it.
Yeah, I can't. It doesn't really affect me unless I'm playing bowling. I suck at bowling now.
Wow.
Yeah. Other than that, and I love her. She's brilliant.
If you time traveled, where would you go?
Either 1940s or 20s. Like
Okay.
1940s after the war.
Yeah.
I have this like fantasy of just like I love like old timey detective movies.
All right.
Like I was talking about Humphrey Bogart earlier. He was in like a bunch of them, like The Big Sleep and The Maltese Falcon and things like that. And I would just set up shop as like a private investigator somewhere in LA and just like got a trench coat, fedora, tie, just go around being a private investigator. That sounds awesome.
Cool.
Like monologuing, like, you know, doing edgy monologues and stuff.
Guilty pleasure.
Ryan Gosling. Like Ryan Gosling movies specifically, I would say.
I think I probably know the answer. If you had the choice to see who comes on the show, who would you like to see on the show next?
I'm going to do a shout out to you, my friend Spud. I would love to see you on this show one day. That would be amazing.
We love you, Spud.
Yeah, we love you, man. And if not, if you can't make it on the show, then probably, Harrison Ford, right? Harrison Ford. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Harrison Ford. Yep.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
We've heard of him.
Any friend mentions and shout outs you'd like to shout out to the camera?
Yes, my mum, my stepdad, wonderful people, raised me into the person I am today. My old
Peanut?
driving instructor as well.
Peanut,
Peanut, the guinea pig. Yep, she's wonderful. Yep, she probably won't be listening to this, but if she is, then I love you, you little kartoffel rat.
your friends at uni?
Yep, friends at uni, all my friends, including yourself.
Oh, thank you. No, I meant like the people that I met yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Well, those are my housemates.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, most of them are housemates. So
Nice,
they're very helpful like that. But
the guy who was sitting next to you, was that your housemate?
Yeah, that's Alex. My
Oh,
housemate.
right, yeah.
So,
yeah. And Instagram. Do you have Instagram?
I do. Yes, you're very welcome to link that, and
Put
also
it at the bottom. That's what happens.
You want to put it like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
And also the politics one as well.
Yeah.
That's
So yours and politics. Yours and the
yes.
politics.
Yeah, both of them. That'd be great.
And I end every show
Mm-hmm.
with Harrison Ford. Please come on
Yes.
the show. Look at the stuff. Look at this.
We love you.
Yes, please. This is an Indiana Jones special.
Your films raised me.
Yes.
And I've loved you in everything I've seen you in.
Yes. It's very funny. Have you seen Shrinking on Apple TV?
No.
I got like a month free subscription, and purely to watch that show. It's
really?
amazing.
And he's in that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's incredible. It's
Did you see Flowers of a Killer Moon? Because he was in that, wasn't he? Was he in that?
No.
Who was in that? I thought that was him.
Robert De Niro.
Ah.
Sorry, my voice is going.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a drink later and stop talking. But that's it.
That's the end of the show.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man.
No, thank you. You're a great guy, very intelligent guy.
Please.
Good morals.
Well.
But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's gonna be.
I look forward to seeing this.
It's gonna be a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, I've done 20. You're 27.
Okay.
And I've only released 12. So
That's okay. I look forward to seeing it eventually.
But yeah, thanks very much, Ronan.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate it. It's nice for you to come on.
Thank you for inviting me.
And thanks for. It's good to find another Indiana Jones person.
Yes, we are out there. They walk among us.
We could start our Indiana Jones society. Just the two of us.
Why the hell not? I say. There's obviously popular demand for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we should do it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Right.
Make sure to remember to sign my book. But I want to end it with saying thank you very much, Ronan, for coming on the show. And if you want to come on the show, find CT Plus. And I just want to say I apologise for my voice. It is absolutely atrocious.
You sound great.
Well, I lost it because of Dick and Dom.
You did.
And I shouted at them saying, bogeys, and security. What was I say? The security guards said you can stay outside the door, and if they come out and you shout at them, they can take a picture. And another guy came past, and he said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Oh, I'm waiting for Dick and Dom. They're gonna go straight into a car afterwards." And I went, "Okay." And I got escorted. I got chucked out. I went around the corner. I could see Dick and Dom having pictures with security guards and autographs. Wow. So just want to say
you're not doing well, are you? Like meeting celebrities.
No,
you just seem to.
no. Yeah, Harrison Ford and Dick and Dom. What's going on? But yeah, thanks very much to Ronan for being on the show. I apologise for my voice; it is atrocious. If you'd like to come on the show, follow CT Plus Productions. God, my voice is terrible. But thanks very much. That's the first episode of the new year, and that's Chat and That.